a world of special place. Cherish life and never waste.
Everyone loves a sunshiny day. We're gonna keep it that way.
Cause clean is better than dirty, and dirty's meaner than clean.
Let's all lend a helping hand. Mario can't do it alone. He'll spray his water to fly around and clean the sludge that's on the ground.
Cause clean is better than dirty, and dirty's meaner than clean.
Super Mario Sunshine, only for Nintendo GameCube. Rated E for everyone.
Hell yeah. Here we are. Sunny Gelato Beach.
What?
That's where we are, right? We flew here on Delfino Airstrip. Crash landed because there's some goopy on the highway.
It's beautiful here.
Now here we are. What's your favorite part about this gorgeous beach?
The huge Godzilla in the background, rising up out of the water.
Now I gotta edit that in.
Yeah, you do.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to Game and Makeup. Episode 3.
Episode 3.
We're talking about today. Well, firstly, I'm Haley.
Hi, Haley.
And who are you?
I'm Mike. Thank you for having me on the show.
No, it's equally your show too.
That's very true.
Yes. So this is our show, and our show is called Game and Makeup, and the premise of this show is I make Michael play a game that I really like, he might not necessarily like, and then vice versa. We switch back and forth. Episode 1, I made you play Twilight Princess. Episode 2, you made me beat
Dark Souls. And
this time around, we're playing one of my favorite games, Super Mario Sunshine.
Absolutely.
Which you are pro, con, medium.
Well, I'll get more in depth into it, but overall, I think good game.
Yeah.
With a lot of issues that I don't like about it.
Absolutely. I think that's what I find I love the most about this game.
Are its glaring flaws?
Yeah, a little bit. So yeah, today we're talking about Super Mario Sunshine.
Very exciting. It's great to be. It's May when we're recording this, like May Rio.
Oh.
It's
is
also...
it March? March 10th is Mario Day.
Is it March 10th Mario Day?
Mm-hmm.
And is it still Mario's 35th, or was that last year?
That was 2020.
Ah, we're a year behind. Yeah.
That's all right.
Oops.
Well, okay, so with people who don't know Sunshine, maybe we'll quickly do a little quick synopsis.
Go for it, please.
It's the second 3D Mario game.
Yep.
First one was Super Mario 64. It came out in 96. And then the space between... Did you know this? The space between 64 and Sunshine was the longest time there's ever been no Mario game.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, so Sunshine came out in 2002.
Mm-hmm.
It came out during the summer in North America and Japan, and then I think for like Australia and somewhere else it came out in the winter, which is like a major bummer.
Right.
But like,
what a very winter fun game.
No, it's not. And so it's Mario going to a tropical location, and they changed up a lot from 64. Well, 64 was their very first 3D game, so
yes, honestly,
it was like kind of insane how much they decided to change from that instead of just make more of that with more levels.
Mm-hmm.
I always think about.
Definitely.
When did you first play this game?
For the first time in the Super Mario 3D All-Stars collection, which came out last year.
I can't believe you never played it before that.
Well, I didn't own a GameCube growing up.
I mean, I played it on my Wii. I didn't play it in 2002. I played it like a few years later.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I freaking love... Actually, I played it on a friend's GameCube a little bit.
Sure.
But I never actually played it on my own until I had a Wii.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll sort of give you my sort of... Even though I hadn't only played this game last year, I have a weird history with it, which I feel...
A lot of people do.
Impacts how I reacted to this game, finally. So, like I just mentioned, I didn't have a GameCube. I was a PS2 kid. And when I finally got my Wii, that's when the Wii was backwards compatible with GameCube games. So that's how I sort of played a lot of the GameCube classics. Metroid Prime, The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker, Star Fox Adventures, all these sorts of first-party Nintendo games I missed out on. But I could never find a copy of Super Mario Sunshine at any game store. And if you could, it was super expensive. And even a GameCube copy of Sunshine is very expensive now because it's never been reprinted.
Oh, really?
And never been re-released until the Nintendo Switch 3D Mario All-Stars collection.
Nice.
But in the mid-2000s, late 2000s, I spent a lot of time on YouTube watching Let's Plays, which are not so common now anymore with the rise of Twitch and, other video streaming websites where you can just, like, watch someone play a game. But Let's Plays are great for me, to people going on, recording themselves playing any number of video games, and there's always these sort of standards, right? Like, Ocarina of Time, they always played it, Super Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie, and Super Mario Sunshine. So that was my first exposure to this game, was watching a lot of YouTubers and other people I really liked and enjoyed and respected play through this game. Mm-hmm. So it sort of became what I like to call like a white whale game for me, a game I always really wanted to try and always was very interested in but never could get my hands on. So this Mario 3D All-Stars collection was finally a chance. I bought it mainly to play Super Mario Sunshine, as much as I love Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Galaxy is one of my favorite games of all time, as well as Galaxy 2. So to finally get to play Sunshine was really exciting for me, and that's why I have sort of conflicted feelings about it, because as much as I really enjoyed my time with it, it has a really glaring issues that I really want to get into, because this game has so much potential to be great, but for me really falls flat in a lot of ways.
What I like the most about this game is everyone knows about those fuck-ups and they still love it. Like, a lot of people you'll be like, oh, what do you think of Sunshine? It's like, oh yeah, I played that one as a kid and I love it. Mm-hmm. I don't know now, because like no one, like, when you're a kid you view fuck-up, like annoying fucking things as like, ha ha ha, I'm just bad at this.
Sure.
But then when you're an adult, you're like, what the hell? That was the game's fault, not mine. Mm. Which I think is funny. Like so many people, when I talk about this game, I'm like, oh yeah, Sunshine was my favorite, and then Odyssey beat it. They're like, oh, Sunshine's still my favorite. And I'm like, what's your favorite world? They're like, I don't remember any of them.
Yeah.
Because it's just a vibe.
My favorite world is the one with the water.
That's another thing I love about this game, is how it has the same theme, and it's never tired.
Oh, 100% agree. The consistency of the level design, not just in the way the levels are designed, but also the theming of Mario going around an island and cleaning it up with his water pack. And we'll get into Flood, I think, and why Flood's so important. But really every level has the same sort of setup of coming into it. The first couple missions it's covered in some sort of gunk or sludge. And Mario is tasked with cleaning it up. And that's a consistent through line through every level in the game. And I really like that in its design.
Yeah.
So
Do you think Splatoon like has some nugget of origin with Sunshine?
Of course. 100%.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty obvious.
Satisfying to spray goop on shit. And,
100%.
And clean it up.
And clean it up. Yeah. Certainly.
Yeah.
So, talk to me about Flood, because I have a lot of opinions on Flood, but I want to hear what you think about Flood.
Flood is like what Fee wishes she was. You know what I mean? Fee from fucking Skyward Sword.
Oh, Skyward Sword. Sure.
Fuck her. Sure. She's like, it's a soulless robot-esque type of character, but Flood is like that done well, whereas Fee is like fucking annoying as hell and is encumbrant. Mm-hmm. But Flood, what does it stand for? Fluid.
Oh, I don't remember.
Fluid something device, and she.
Sure.
I think it's. I don't know. I
never
thought about it.
Flood is genderless, but yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Her UI voice is like lady sounding, but
sure.
She's a backpack you put on your back and you can spray water. She's a water cannon. Mm-hmm. She has two forms. One is like when you spray over your head, and there's a hover nozzle, which is like the hover nozzle is the core of this entire game. I feel like is the nugget of like
sure.
When you think of Sunshine, you think of the hover nozzle.
Yep.
And like the way like the exact timing of exactly when you know you're gonna be like so close to an edge, or you're like a centimeter away, pixel away, and you fucking fall down. Mm-hmm. Classic.
Classic.
Yeah. So Flood goes with you to prison. Mario lands in the fucking this place, and they don't even do the due diligence of any kind of. They give him a trial, but my lord, it's a speedy one, and they don't even bring that much evidence, and he gets thrown in jail. Mm-hmm. And he just wanted to relax with his GF and some old Toad. Yes. I don't know why Toadsworth came.
Oh, a bunch of Toads come. It's a huge vacation.
Oh no! I guess all the other Toads come, but Toadsworth's the only one that's like showing on the plane with them, like vibing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's the first time we see Toadsworth.
Is Toadsworth a well-loved character in the Marioverse?
You don't love Toadsworth?
I don't.
I can't think of another.
Dislike Toadsworth.
What else has he even done?
He's probably in a Mario Party or something.
Probably. He's like the one that tells you how the menus work.
Okay, so you have pretty positive feelings towards Flood.
I love this game. Yeah. It's really good. Well,
No, keep going, please.
It's a vibe. What I love about this game is it's an absolute vibe. Whatever the magic is to nailing, like, feeling like you're going somewhere specific and the feelings you get by being in that specific place, they've nailed it with, like, a tropical theme. Like,
Sure.
like vacation-y kind of vibes where it's like, oh, I'm excited to just, like, be in the sun or whatever. And what I always think about is, like, Mario is Skittles and this is tropical Skittles. Like, that's, like, the perfect analogy in my head, and I can't describe it any better than that.
Right.
Where it's like, yeah, Skittles are yummy and they taste the same. You've known them for years, but, like, every so often you grab the, like, bright aquamarine colored bag of tropical Skittles and it just hits different. And you only eat them during certain times of year. It's like, oh, only when it's nice out, I want the tropical Skittles. And they just taste different, and it's like, that's what sunshine is tropical Skittles.
Great. I really like that analogy, actually.
Yeah?
Because,
I was thinking about that a lot.
I do. It's great because it'll lead into, because tropical Skittles are great. There's also 2 or 3 really crap flavors that are in a bag of tropical Skittles.
That's a great point, and
So,
that is not something I thought of.
I'm not nearly as positive on Flood as you are for a myriad of reasons. Number one is, as a quote-unquote character, Flood's pretty boring. And
She's boring.
And not really necessary. Like, I think Flood maybe talks 3 or 4 times in cutscenes. Yeah, and
Mario.
And as a gameplay mechanic, where I find Flood a lot more interesting, she's sort of a get-out-of-jail-free card.
Yeah.
And the game's designed that way. A lot of the levels are designed around you jumping off very high platforms in classic Mario fashion, but using the hover nozzle, as you said, to sort of bail yourself out and move great distances. And that's a very, I like that mechanic. It works really well, except when it doesn't work really well, where it's in that Flood sometimes controls really wonky. I think the controls while you're hovering around are slippery, and maybe that might be purposeful to deal with the water theme of how it all goes around, but it feels very slippery to control a lot of the time, in my opinion. Yeah. And if Flood's going to be sort of your core mechanic, because that's what everyone remembers about this game, is Mario has the water pack. Then I think Flood should be important throughout the entire game, and we'll get into this a little bit later maybe, but I feel like when Flood goes away, which Flood does often for bonus levels and some main course missions, then the game suffers a lot for it in its design, because these levels that are so intricate and designed around Flood's mechanics, when it's gone, some might argue that's a fun challenge, but also makes the levels...
You hate those.
Less... I wouldn't say I hate them. I think there's some bonus levels that are great.
There's like 2 good ones.
But a lot of them are not fun and frustrating.
Yeah. What's so interesting too is, like, they work so hard to make the main worlds like a vibe, and that it feels beachy and you feel like you're somewhere. And then the secret levels are just like in this ethereal, like, blank space.
Definitely.
I think one of them has sunflowers in the background. You're like, that's kind of cute. But the rest of them is just like you're just in this gray block of space, and you're hovering above like 1,000,000 miles in the air.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love
the
how all the levels are connected. Like, you can see Pina Park from Rico Harbor. You can stare into the horizon and say, oh, that's Sierra Beach. Yeah. Or that's Gelato Beach. Yeah. You can see Pina Park from Bianco Hills off in the background. It really makes you feel like you're on an island, on a resort, and all these areas are connected together, which I think speaks to the point you were just saying about how these bonus levels feel so detached from everything else. And again, I don't want to be too hard on the bonus levels because some are great and the music's an absolute jam.
Oh my god, yeah.
I think you should play that a cappella song in the background here for a few seconds while we're talking about this.
Which one?
The bonus level, the Mario theme, but it's all a cappella.
Oh yeah,
it's a jam. There you go. You have to play. You can just do it right there.
There, that was it. I'll play it though, because I'm not good.
It's great, and the bonus levels can be really fun. But as I was playing them again, coming back to, I wish this felt more connected. If you're gonna design your game around a water cannon, then why isn't the water cannon more involved in these bonus levels? And there are some bonus levels where you go back for red coins where Flood is involved, and those were a lot more fun to me. Yeah. But overall, I think Flood's a very cool mechanic that unfortunately gets tossed too much on the wayside, which feels at odds with the design of the game.
That's a very fair thing. And it's forgiven in my brain because the actual levels where you're not in the secret worlds are so good.
Sure.
So I'm like, my brain kind of goes, ha, and like erases those because I don't like the secret worlds, and that can be chalked up to like a lot of flaws in like movement things. Sure. Because Flood is a gimme card. Flood is like, oops, I made a mistake. Let me save this. So then when they take away Flood, and you're like. And immediately you're like, oh my god. Because, like, how many times do you think you would get to the end of a secret level and all you have to do is jump to get the sprite, but you're like...
Sure.
And then, like, you know what I mean? Everything feels like it's risky.
Yep.
And I think a big part of why Sunshine makes me really mad is how bad they are at slopes in Sunshine.
Sure. 100%.
I can't really remember how 64 dealt with slopes. Do you know? Like, where
slopes in the level?
Like, so... It's kind of weird because I was playing. I just literally rolled credit. I replayed it for this.
Yep.
I rolled credits on it yesterday. I probably played it through all the way like I don't know, like 4 times.
Sure.
And then, but I've never like gotten all 120 sprites. But like I've gotten most of them at least once.
Right.
The last time I just played, I got like 65. And it's like...
I cannot imagine having 120 sprites in this game.
Well, a lot of them are coin collecting, and I want to talk about the coin collecting bit
me too.
later. But, yeah. But, like, what was I talking about? Slopes. And it's like, I was doing some of the secret levels in, I think it was Pianta Village.
Right.
And it was like those... I'll put a picture on the screen, but it's like those... wheels that have like divots in them, and you have to move with them and like go like this and then like go up and down.
Sure.
It's like 50-50 that you'll be standing on it and it looks legit and he'll just go woo! Yeah. And or other times you'll do it and he just stands still and he's fine. Yeah. And it's literally luck, and I think that's just the physics engine of Sunshine.
Yeah, you never want to feel like it's,
like you don't know.
Yeah, like, it's one, like, if I die, I want it to feel like it's my fault, not the game's weird levels or slippery controls making me lose.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because there'll be times where I'm doing it exactly like I just did it, but he'll go, woohoo, and he'll just slide off.
Right.
Or, like, there'll be those cubes that are turning like this, and I land on it, and it looks like, oh, I've landed on something that's this level a million times, it's fine. He'll land on it and just slide down.
Sure.
And when you look at Odyssey, it's so much more fine-tuned, and everything feels like, that was my fault that I fucked up that jump, whereas Sunshine, it's like, I'd say 30% of the time I would blame the game, and then 70% of the time is my fault.
Right.
It feels like. Whereas Odyssey, it's like 95% my fault if I fuck up.
Odyssey's just so much tighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, the movement system in Odyssey, which takes a lot from Sunshine, to be fair. Like,
oh my god, yeah.
Like, having played Odyssey first and coming back to Sunshine for the first time, I was like, oh, it's very clear that it takes the most from Sunshine's movement system in Odyssey, and takes it to a whole other level, because I have problems with Odyssey as well, but I think that game's controls are immaculate.
Yeah.
Immaculate.
Odyssey is the follow-up to Sunshine. It's better in every way. That's like, because that's why Sunshine was my favorite Mario for like a decade, and then Odyssey bumped it, because it's more Sunshine, just minus the beach theme, which, like, I guess that's the whole point of Sunshine. So maybe it's not the greatest way to put it, but but it's still like you move in Odyssey like you move in Sunshine, but better.
Sure.
Whereas, like, do you think you move better in Sunshine compared to 64?
Yeah, 100%.
You think?
No, the addition of the slide of shooting the water on the ground and Mario sliding into it,
Fuck me up with that. I just do that for fun all the time.
No, absolutely.
Running around.
And obviously, as someone, like, the lack of a long jump in Super Mario Sunshine is something I really struggled with. Because in every other Mario game, you have, like, the very easy long jump to get yourself some very easy momentum, and that's omitted because you have the slide and the hover nozzle.
You hate that it doesn't have a long jump.
No, well, it just took me a while to get used to, and obviously it makes up for it in other movement mechanics.
Yeah. But
I think the lack of long jump is more often a detriment. I think it could have worked within the moveset that Flood has as well to give you more movement options, but... Yeah, no, I think it controls a lot better than 64. I mean, 64 is a game I love a lot as well, but playing it now, you're like, oh, this game controls kind of like doo-doo. And the camera's awful.
The camera's awful in Sunshine.
Oh, I 100% agree.
Oh my god, there's so many... They try to do this thing where they make the screen really small and blue to be like, you're breaking the walls a little bit, go back, but sometimes you'll be doing the level as intended, and it's shoving that circle screen in your face over and over, being like, no, you're pushing up against our boundaries, stop it. But I'll just be standing, like, by a wall normally, and it'll be doing that. Drives me crazy. There's one sprite in pin a park where you have to go behind the Ferris wheel and like spray to like make the little shelves come down so you can climb up and do it.
Right.
I can't believe that that's shipped the way that they like made that, because literally
Yeah,
they have the flat wall and then all the things you interact with in front of it.
Yeah.
And like you need to crane around sometimes and like have the camera back to the wall to like see what Mario's doing, and it just goes like, and it literally can't do it. So you can only flip it this way, and then you can't see as much that way.
Right.
It's the dumbest thing in the world, and there is a lot of that in Sunshine.
Sure.
Where it's like, why'd they do that? Why did they like make it like this?
Well, it's very, I mean, I don't know if you know any of the background information on Sunshine.
It was rushed.
It was super rushed. It's very clear in a lot of the ways why it was rushed. But I think that's a prime example of them just, like, having to put something at the door and not, you know, giving another couple months to really smooth it out and make it...
Why was it so rushed, do you know? Because they had 6 years between them.
Yeah, but also, the GameCube needed a 3D Mario game.
Yeah.
Because every...
When did the GameCube come out? 2001?
2001, and it launched with Luigi's Mansion, which is a great game, but certainly not a 3D Mario game.
Yeah.
And so, I think they wanted it out because the GameCube was struggling, so they tried to rush this out very quickly because Wind Waker was still about, you know, a year off. I think that came out in 2003. Metroid Prime successful, but, you know, not a lot of people have GameCubes or care about Metroid.
When did Melee come out?
So that launched with the GameCube 2001, and of course Melee is great, but
Melee's that's primarily selling on GameCube.
Yeah. And you can still find copies of Melee.
When did Double Dash come out? You're just Wikipedia for me now.
2004 or 5? I don't know.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Sunshine is a victim of that. Like, there's a lot of parts, like, you know, you look at a level like Bianco Hills, the first level of the game, and it's great. It's bursting with tons of platforms and ways to move around, and all the shine missions are very fleshed out.
Nothing else in the world feels like the first
Petey
Piranha fight. That is the most, when someone says nostalgia in video games, that's the first thing I think of is fight is like spraying in his mouth and hitting his big huge tummy with the big outwards belly button.
Yeah.
That's 2002. I don't even know, like that was the whole year to me. That one fight.
Absolutely.
Oh, I love it so much.
You know what I was saying in that, like, that level's great because it's so much to do and it's super fleshed out. And then you compare it to a later level, like, you know, Pianta Village or even Pina Park to an extent that are super, you know, not fleshed out at all.
Yeah, they are.
It's very clear they just aren't finished. And
I think they're finished. I just think they didn't have as much time to sit and really like chat it out about it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's what if they want to call a bunch of random platforms underneath one platform a finished level in Pianta Village.
I can't talk about the underside of Pianta Village. I can't talk about the secret of the underside of Pianta Village or whatever that sprite is. That's the worst. Because that's the... we can talk about worst sun sprites. That'd be fun.
Shine sprites? Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, what's... I know what you're going to say what the worst one is.
I don't think you do.
Chucksters.
That one's pretty bad, but it's not my least favorite.
Chucksters is the one, in case people don't know, because we've been playing it, so we, like, know all the things off the top of our head. You have to stand in front of some of these villagers, and then when you hit A to talk to them, and that instigates them to immediately throw them exactly behind themselves at a platform. And they have the first one's very easy. You just walk up, and then, like, unless you literally talk to them, like, sideways, you're gonna get to the other side. And then by the end of it, it's like, this dude is walking in a circle, and you have to stand there and be like, it's not fun. You're literally just like this, and you're waiting for him to come around, and you'll talk to him. And sometimes you'll hit A at the perfect time, but he'll be like, and like turn weird and chuck you into the abyss. And I died like 15 times trying to get that one sun sprite.
Absolutely.
And I'm 27 years old. Mm-hmm. This is a game for children.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's fucked. I hate that one.
So is that your least favorite one?
That or... I'm trying to think of the real shit ones now.
Pachinko Machine?
Oh, well, fuck Pachinko Machine.
Pachinko Machine's pretty bad.
Oh, Lily Pad.
Oh, I didn't even do that one because I
don't
have time for that.
Because not only is Lily Pad... Okay, we'll talk about Pachinko Machine first, because that's iconic.
I didn't do that one either, because I'm not doing
Have you ever beat Pachinko Machine?
No, absolutely not. I have better things to do with my life than play Pachinko Machine, Super Mario Sunshine.
Oh my god, Pachinko Machine is the worst thing in the world, because it works like a Pachinko... Well, yeah, it works like a Pachinko Machine, but kind of different.
You'll have it up here behind us when we're
I'll put it up, and you zoom up, and you have to use FLUDD to hover and try to land in these various points to get all the red coins in order to keep going. And if you hit them, then you go back and you have to go again and try to get another coin. But if you fuck up, you just go right to the bottom and you fall through and you die. And you have to go, you get booted out of the level, have to go back, jump on the ship, jump back up, and start it all over again. Mm-hmm. And it's like the worst thing ever because they have these little nails stuck in. It's supposed to look like the little, what is that called? Like guiding you in. But it's like, it'd be better if they just made the shapes and not nails, so that you just have to aim for the general opening and then you land. But instead they make these little nails, so you'll land on a nail and it looks like you just fly in, but it's like, and it zooms. Oh my god. It's the worst. Yeah. It's probably, that probably is the worst.
That's your least favorite pachinko machine?
Probably because it feels like bullshit. It doesn't feel like fun. It feels like I would put that on to make someone angry.
Right.
And then lily pad sucks because it's like the actual one isn't even that bad. You sit on a lily pad and you use the hover nozzle to spray to send you in the opposite direction to get red coins down this river. Mm-hmm. And it's like if you fuck up, you can kind of like run along the sides and maybe get the last coin you need or whatever. But to get there, you have to get a Yoshi. Mm-hmm. Jump on one boat. The way Yoshi jumps is also really hard to determine where he's going to land and stuff. Sure. The Yoshi jumping is bad.
Yeah, it's probably the worst it's ever been in 3D compared to like a Galaxy, for sure.
Because what I like to do is I press A, and then I press A again for him to go, ooh, and like get his little hover. Yeah. And then I realized that if you just press A once, he'll do both actions without you having to press it again, and that really fucked me up, because then I never timed it right. Right. But anyway, so you have to jump on one boat, and then you have to wait on the boat. The boats go like super slow. It could take 10 minutes to start. If you die in the lily pad, it could take 10 minutes to get back to it again. Sure. You drift around, and then there's another boat that crosses past. You jump onto that boat. And then while you're going back, you have to jump on and get another pineapple to get more juice. Mm-hmm. So that when you get there, you have enough juice to open the pipe to jump in to start the lily pad thing. Right. And if you die, you're kicked out. And there's a pipe at the end that looks like it would send you, like, back to the start of the level. And it sends you back to Delfino Square, like, right in front of that statue where it's fun. I'm flabbergasted.
I can see you're very worked up right now.
I hate it. It's so bad. It sounds like you brought this game to me because I'm complaining so much, but it's like unforgivably like dumb the way they like arranged that.
Unforgivably?
Unforgivably stupid.
Right. Okay, that's fair.
That was a long. What pachinko machine is yours though?
I know I didn't do pachinko machine.
What's yours then?
The stupid watermelon down the hill.
Watermelon Festival.
Like, it just has nothing to do with the mechanics of the game. You literally start at the top of a hill and it's like, hey, I need this watermelon down at the bottom of the beach. You're like, okay, simple enough. Maybe I have to shoot it with my water cannon, which you can. Or maybe I have to, like, bounce it through a series of, intricate platforms, like using the mechanics of the game. Yeah. No, you just kind of boot it down the hill and hope it doesn't break.
It breaks it's like a balloon, too.
It breaks super easily, so you kind of chuck it down the hill, assuming it makes it down the hill without breaking. You then have to guide it incredibly slowly over a dock with your water cannon, bumping into the smallest thing, it breaks it. You gotta start all over again. It's anti-fun, it's anti the mechanics of the game.
What flavor Skittle are these really bad Sunspray?
I don't know, yellow. Is that the bad one in tropical?
Let me look up what flavors are in tropical. We should, at the end of this, let's say what are the good flavors in tropical Skittles flavors. Here we go. We got I can't see. Mango, banana berry.
Oh, banana berry, terrible.
Pineapple, passion fruit, strawberry, starfruit, and kiwi lime.
Yeah, banana berry's bad.
Banana berry is
the Watermelon Festival.
It's not just the Watermelon Festival, but any of those ones that require precarious platforming because the game isn't good at that. So why are you making me do that? Let me just spray water goop and have fun.
Sure. Okay, yeah. So,
what's your strawberry starfruit sun sprite?
Is that a good flavor?
Yeah. Oh, that's the pink?
Well, I think I'm going to kind of get into one of the main problems with the game is that it's incredibly forgettable, I think, in a lot of ways. For me,
really?
For me personally, like you're asking me what's my favorite Shine sprite in Super Mario Sunshine, and if you ask me what my favorite star is, Super Mario 64 or Super Mario Galaxy, I could tell you in an instant. But for Super Mario Sunshine,
you just played it too.
I know, and I don't know, the manta ray was pretty fun. Like that's a very memorable shine sprite to me, so I guess I'd go with that one.
That one's cool.
But here's sort of I'm going to talk about two of my major issues with Sunshine here, since the whole point of the show is for me to kind of rag on a game you like.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take the glasses off.
I've been doing most of the ragging.
I'm going to get serious about why this game really pisses me off. So get ready, world.
Yagadoo. What are you going to say?
So there's a great thing whenever I replay Super Mario 64.
I like when you get like this.
So you boot up that game, and I played that game 20 times in my life.
Yeah.
Sometimes to 100% completion, sometimes just to finish the game, sometimes just for an hour to run around in my favorite worlds. Mm-hmm. But the great thing about that game is that I've played it so much, and I know it so well. I know it top to bottom, right? So I can play the first 6 levels in that game, which I love. And that gives me enough stars to pretty much beat the game.
Yeah.
You don't have to do a lot of these extra worlds. And that's great, because some levels in Super Mario 64 suck ass.
Oh my god, yeah.
Hazy May Cave, terrible level.
The clock one?
Yeah, Tick-Tock Clock, bad level.
Oh.
Rainbow Ride, bad level.
Oh, I
You know
hate
what?
Rainbow Ride.
You never have to do them. You don't have to do them. You never have to touch them. By the time you get to the top of Peach's Castle in Mario 64, if you've been playing all the levels up to that
70?
point... Yeah, it's like 70 or something. So it's great. You don't have to do these crap levels that no one likes and are not fun. But Super Mario Sunshine, that's not an option. You have to play every level in this game.
You have to.
Every level, every shine. There's like 7 or 8 episodes.
7
per level, and then and then a bonus episode at the end, which is for 100 coins, and you don't need to do that one.
Well, there's always 7, and Shadow Mario is always the 7th.
Right.
And then there's a festival-ish kind of like, thank you for helping us, 8
right.
one, and most of them aren't even good.
Yeah. So, yeah, I can't skip the levels I don't like. I'm gonna say right now, Pianta Village is a terrible, terrible level. It's not fun. It's badly designed. I don't think... If you like it out there, that's great. I'm glad you like Pianta Village. Good for you. I think it sucks.
Yeah.
I don't get to skip it. If I worked really hard in the game and I 100%ed Bianco Hills, Rico Harbor... And no, there's not as many levels in Super Mario Sunshine as there are in other Mario games, so they kind of have to make you do them to get 120 shines. Alright, fair. I get that.
Yeah.
But if I do 100%, Bianco Hills or Rico Harbor or Pina Park, the levels I do like, Sierra Beach, Gelato Beach, I like those levels generally. There's shines I don't like in those levels.
Oh yeah. There's never one with all good.
No. But the game feels so incredibly restrictive in how it wants you to proceed. If I'm really good at a certain level and I get all the shines in it, should I not be rewarded and be able to skip levels I don't like? But no, you have to do every shine in every level, which some of them are great, but a lot of them are go chase the little luchador man around. Chase him up a tree.
Il Pendentissimo?
You caught him, great. So that's that level.
He's like those are some of the best.
No, they suck.
Chasing
Shadow Mario, not very fun.
What does he call you? Flubby...
I don't know.
Tubby
I don't
something.
care, because the game's super forgettable in a lot of ways.
Oh man, I disagree.
Okay, that's great, but my whole point is that the game doesn't reward you for exploring. Like, Delfino Plaza is a great hub filled with tons of secrets, tons of things to do.
Yeah.
And if I go around, I think there's probably 12 or 15 shines that's in Delfino Plaza alone, which is great. Mm-hmm. And I went around and I ran around and I explored and I found so many of them. It's like, hey, since I found 10 shines in Delfino Plaza, can I not just jump ahead and beat the game? Should I not be rewarded for my exploration? Should I be rewarded for going out of my way to really complete a level? It's like, no, fuck you, do Pianta Village. Put the chain chomps on fire.
Yeah.
And that's just not fun to me. It's restrictive. It's boring. I don't want to do these levels because, to be frank, some of them aren't nearly as fun as other ones. And that's in every Mario game. Yeah, like I said, I don't want to do Hazy Maze Cave in Super Mario 64. So I get to skip it. I skip it every time. Go ahead. I'm interested to hear. Go on. Tell me I'm wrong.
Well, I'm surprised you're not bringing up the fact that it boots you out every time.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing I wanted to mention. It boots you out every time. And, sorry, I'll let you...
Yeah.
I have one more point to bring up here. So the great thing about Super Mario 64 is,
It boots you out also, though.
But here's the thing about it. If you get dropped off into Bob-omb Battlefield, the first level of Super Mario 64, very iconic, everybody knows it, get to the top of the mountain. The first star in that level is defeat King Bob-omb on top of the mountain.
Yes.
But on the way to the top of that mountain, you might see the star behind Chain Chomp's gate, and you might wonder, okay, how do I get that? And you can do that first. knock the peg down, get it first. You might find the 8 red coins first, and totally not even touch King Babam till the very end. That can be the last. I think you have to do that one to get one of the other stars.
Mm-hmm.
But the game rewards you for exploring, and like it feels more open. And the levels, while in Sunshine, are very well designed for the most part. They're very linear. I can't go to my way and find certain shine sprites first. I can't do the secret unless I do the first 3 shines before it.
Yeah.
Which I find really lame.
It's linear.
And there's nothing wrong with linear, so to speak, because I love Super Mario Galaxy, which is even more linear than Sunshine. It's you drop in, this is the star you have to do. There's no other stars to find. For the most part, there's a couple of secret ones you can find.
Yeah.
But the design of Galaxy's levels are more linear in nature than Sunshine's, which feel open. Like you can run around Rico Harbor for hours before you actually find the shine you're looking for.
Yeah.
So if you're going to have these open levels, I feel it should be more like 64 or Odyssey, which is a perfect example of this. There's literally dozens of moons per level.
Kick you out of.
You can find you find dozens before you even finish a level for the first time. So the linear nature of Sunshine feels very restrictive to me and very not fun. There you go. That's my rant. Go ahead.
No, I liked your rant.
Put my glasses back on. I'm cool again. Summer vibes.
Look up at the sun sprite. I'll Sunshine sprite. I'll put above your head and just relax. Or no, look like Mario did in the airplane, and I'll put the bubbles of you wanting the food you wanted. Remember
Sweet.
When his eyes are all hearty.
I'm looking up at it right now.
Oh yeah.
Great.
That was amazing. That was a good rant, because you know what? I don't quite like how it boots you out either, and I don't like how it boots you out when you die either.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just give me the one-up. Like, I have the one-ups. Like, just kind of let me go, wah, wah, and then come back and keep going, right? Like, what is the downside to that besides just more, like, quick fun times?
Well, it's an unfortunate, like, thing of, like, lives still being an outdated mechanic even in 2002. Like, we don't need lives then, we don't need them now. Like, Odyssey doesn't have lives, and it's better off for it.
It just takes some coins away from you,
exactly.
which, like, who the fuck cares? I don't even, like, I have 10,000 of these. Yeah. But, okay, yeah, so I agree with that, and I don't really mind... having to get to the 7th sprite of every level, because there's not that many of them.
Sure.
So take away Corona Mountain, because that's a hallway, and take away Delfino Plaza, because that's a hub.
Delfino Plaza's a level.
But, like, just for my argument here, we're getting booted out.
Oh, take out the one thing that makes your argument bad. Got it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Wow. What do I say? It's like, I just mean for my argument of getting booted out, because you don't get booted out of Delfino Plaza so much. You just kind of like, oh no, I just didn't get that sprite like I wanted. You get booted out of the like secret sprites in Delfino Plaza, but not the ones just open in the world. You get them and you can keep going, right?
Yep.
Pretty sure.
Yep.
So like there's 7 levels, and that's not that many.
Nope.
And what I like about Sunshine is that things you do change the levels every time you come back.
That's true.
And I think that's why they did this make you leave, come back thing. I think they probably could have toned it down to making you only leave when you get the sun sprite and then come back, instead of every time you die and then come back. Even if I have like 5 one-ups like in the bank, they're like, oh, you got hit by the fucking squid and you died, back to the pipe, come back, walk all the way up, go up. Like, no, just like let me revive right there and keep fighting. Right. But if I kill him, you're like, sure, boot me out, because then when I come back, something's different. Because that's what I think it's Gelato Beach that has the most of it. Is like you come there and the Wriggler's having a little nap and he looks really cute up there, but then you fuck up his nap and then you leave. And when you come back, he's like really pissed that his nap's over and he's running around. Sure. So then you have to like fight him and then you calm him down. And then when you come back the next time, I can't remember what the 3rd or 4th, whatever sprite is. But, like, the point that they're trying to do is, like, you're affecting things in the world. Like, Noki Bay is another one. It's like, oh, no, our water's poisoned. Like, is this it? And you fix that. And they're like, that wasn't it. So you get booted out. You come back, like, maybe this is why it's poisoned. And you, like, do this. And then eventually when you fix the poison, you come back and you can finally swim in the water. And it's like, oh, I did this. I fixed this. Like, this is fun. And I think they did that well, especially considering it's, like, 2002. Like...
No, I see your point.
Like, I like that.
The levels changing as
you
go through them. Sure.
I agree with you that they shouldn't be booting... Like, they're booting you out way too fucking much. Especially for a game that's so, like... oh, look how cohesive our world is. Like you were saying, I can see Pinna Park over there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, but let me stay over there to finish my shit. Stop making me come here to look at it far away to only go right back and wait in a loading screen for no reason.
Well, I mean, I understand getting kicked out of the level once you get a shine sprite. Like, that's fine.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about, like, dying.
Well, there has to be a penalty for dying. You just don't think you should kicked out of the whole level, just go to the start of the level again?
No,
like
I think
every other game in the world?
My perfect scenario is, say I'm fighting the regular, and it kills me, even though that boss fight is really easy. And it kills you, and it's like, I have 5 1-ups left.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, the punishment is losing a 1-up. If I get back to 0, kick me out of the level and make me come back.
Right.
But if I have 5 and the regular kills me in the level and I have 4, do a little animation of like, whoa!
Right.
And then he can go, whoop! And then keep going. It's like, but you lost 1, so be careful. And they could have even upped the difficulty a bit for those boss fights to make that feel better, right?
Sure.
Like, even with the regular, like, when he runs by you, he doesn't even do any damage or anything. You have to, like, stand in front of his whole body. Or, like, the King Boo boss fight in the casino.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most boring boss fight ever.
Yeah. No, for sure. The boss fights in this game aren't great. That's for sure.
Yeah, the only one I even, like, found a little bit hard was the final one, which we can talk about in a second. But
sure.
That's what I think they should have done.
Right.
And maybe we'll chalk it up to they didn't
have enough time again.
Yeah.
The sort of
like
rush nature of the game.
Maybe. But I think I don't mind having to keep coming back because they give you a reason. They change things.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point.
Which Super Mario 64 didn't do.
No, the levels, they don't change very much. There's some subtle changes sometimes, but nothing quite to the level of Sunshine.
Because it's
You're
supposed
absolutely
to
right.
feel like you're here to do something, which is clean up, and you're doing it.
Right.
And they always are like, Mario, help us one more time, please, please. And you do it. And they're like, oh, you're the best. Can you do one more time, please, please? And it's like kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's my rebuttal.
No, that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't make the game any more fun for me, is the thing. But it's a fair point.
Then how do I convince you that?
You don't have to convince me of anything. You can't convince me. I think this game... I think this game is really good.
Yeah.
It has just these flaws. I don't want to talk about another flaw right now. And I don't think you're going to have a refute for this one. If you do, I'm very excited
to hear it. I'm excited to hear this flaw.
Blue coins.
No. I don't have a rebuttal for
Blue coins are not a bad idea in practice, It's it's building off the red coin idea, and there are red coins as well again in this game based on certain shrine missions.
Yeah.
But blue coins, you find them randomly. Hey, shoot that patch of sludge on the wall, you get a blue coin. Kill these enemies a certain way, hey, here's a blue coin.
But wait, and save first.
Yeah, save first. Every time you gotta save.
That's just...
Every time.
It was just... They should have fixed that for the fucking... All-Stars remake and
sure.
But like whatever.
I mean, we could have a whole episode of why the Mario 3 to All-Stars collection is a massive disappointment in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
but
we could have.
Focusing solely on the blue coins here. The blue coins are a fine idea, and you collect so many blue... And again, this is definitely another symptom of not having enough time, because instead of filling it with 30 more shines, it's just collect... I think is it 120 blue coins? That's how many you have to collect?
There's 24 sun sprites you can get from the Tanukis.
And I think it's like, 5 coins per shine or something?
10, so 10. 240.
So yeah, you get these blue coins, you hand them into these raccoons, and they give you a shine. Cool. There's no way to track the blue coins as you collect them.
That's what I was like thinking about.
There's absolutely, and like
There's
I remember
an app for it.
I remember reading about this game. Everyone's like, "Don't collect the blue coins until the end of the game because you'll have no way to keep track of them." But I didn't know that. I'm just playing it blind.
Yeah.
Oh, blue coin, shiny blue coin. I want that, so
Yeah.
I grab it because it's a collectathon 3D platformer.
Yeah.
So by the time I got to the end of the game, and I think I finished the game around with 72 shines or something. So,
whoa.
I kept thinking, like, do I want a 100% Super Mario Sunshine to say I did it? I'm like, I can deal with pachinko machines and sandbirds, and I can deal with...
Oh, that's another bad one.
I didn't mind the sandbird, to be honest. I think that one's sort of overblown in how hard... I did in, 3 tries.
It's the slope thing.
Yeah, as you were saying.
Yeah.
But, I'm sorry. I'm not going to go through every level precariously combing, looking for blue coins, when all it would have taken was, hey, in Bianca Hills, you have 8 out of, I don't know, whatever I mean, is 20 blue coins. So now I know, I'm like, all right, at least there's 12 more blue coins on this level. Now it makes me want to explore. It makes me want to experiment.
Mm-hmm.
Instead it's like, well, I don't know how many there are. You figure it out.
Yeah, that's
So
dumb.
now I have to go on Google and Google Blue Coins Bianca Hills. I'm like, did I get that one? I got that one 10 hours ago when I played through this level. I don't know if I got that one. I don't remember.
Yeah.
So it's very frustrating, and again, it's an example of the game being rushed and having to fill it with this very blatant, annoying filler. The blue coins suck, and they're not fun.
They're a banana berry.
What's a banana? Oh, the Skittles.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a Donkey Kong reference. And I don't know what that is.
Not funny.
No. So yeah, blue coins, not fun. Do you think the blue coins are fun?
No.
No.
Here's my, 100% agree. Like, that's what's so interesting about this game is so much of it is trash, but I still like it. And I think...
And I like it too. It's my least favorite 3D Mario by a large margin. Sure. And you know what?
Wow.
Will I ever play it again? Probably not. I highly doubt it.
Is it because you don't have nostalgia? I know that's like the most annoying way to argue it, but like this game is like the nostalgia game of the early 2000s. That's what it is. And that's what a lot of people consider it, is like, oh, that's the last time I was happy was in 2002 when I was playing this, so I guess I like it. I can't imagine
anyone being happy collecting blue coins in Super Mario Sunshine.
Well, little kids don't collect the blue coins. They go and they jump on Yoshi and they dick around and they listen to the fun music and they just vibe.
You know what?
Because this game is a vibe.
I'm sure.
It's not a struggle, it's a vibe. And if you try to play it like a struggle, you're gonna hate it. But if you play it like a vibe, you're gonna love it.
You know, maybe you're right.
Does that make sense?
No, I think it does make sense. I think the lack of nostalgia for me is definitely a large part of it. I didn't grow up with this game. Like, I grew up with Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Galaxy on the Wii.
Yeah.
I'm sure if I played it when I was 8 years old like you were, I probably would have a lot more fond memories of it.
Yeah.
But playing it now in, 2021, 2020... as someone like me, a completionist, someone who likes to thoroughly... That's
not what this game is about.
But I feel like it could be, and it's trying to be, and like every other Mario game is that way.
Yeah, so I think you're right. I think the 100 coins for each level requirement for a sun sprite, and the blue coin requirement for a sun sprite are padding to make the game seem bigger than it was in order to validate how much it cost in 2002.
Yeah.
That's what that was for. This game could have been $20 less and just been like the 8 levels with the 8, or the 9 levels with the 8 sun sprites. I'm trying to do math in my head. And that could have been fine.
Mm-hmm.
But they wanted to sell more of them, and it was the GameCube, and the GameCube was fucking huge. And it was like, we need to pad this out a bit. Coins.
What do you mean the GameCube was huge?
Big cube. What do you mean?
Like just in size?
No, I meant like in like people, they're trying to push it.
Oh, so but it wasn't popular. It was the thing.
That's what I mean.
So it wasn't huge.
Okay, well they were trying to make it huge.
I'm sorry, I'm just confused what you're trying to say.
It was minuscule, the cube.
Yeah.
But
okay, go ahead.
So, what was I about to argue? It's like, I agree. The coin bits are dumb. And what is really frustrating about this game is there's no point to 100% it. Besides just like a little feeling in your heart that you're happy you did that.
That's why you 100% any game.
Not really, because there's more, like, so if I 100%, I'm right now trying to get the Red Dead Platinum, right?
Yeah. Well, we're talking about an era where trophies and achievements didn't exist.
No, I'm not even talking about trophies.
Yeah.
Like, I love Red Dead more for trying to get 100% in it.
Right.
Like, I feel like I understand it better. I appreciate it better. Mm-hmm. I've learned more. I've heard more dialogue. I know more about my characters that I love. Yeah. Because I'm sitting down and putting hundreds of hours into, like, doing everything. Mm-hmm. And that makes me love it more.
Sure.
Doing everything in Sunshine doesn't make you love it more. It makes you love it less.
But shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Is my point.
But it doesn't. So, like,
so that's bad.
Just don't do it, because you don't need to. You get a JPEG of a, like, happy vacation at the end. That's all you get.
Sure. But my counterpoint to that would be, back in my day, when we 100%ed games, we did it because we wanted to. We didn't care about gamer score or platinum trophies.
You took a pic with something of your screen.
I mean, when I...
I get it.
When I used to play Banjo-Kazooie or Super Mario 64, and I 100%ed those games, I did it because I wanted to say, I've seen literally all that game has to offer, and I had a lot of fun along the way.
It was bragging rights.
It was bragging rights. If I complete Super Mario Sunshine, and I never will, because I have literally so many other better things to do than collect blue coins in Super Mario Sunshine. But to me, I think that's a moot point you're bringing up. Like, if I'm going to invest the time... well, first of all, I won't invest time in 100%ing a game unless I feel the game is good enough to warrant that. I've played lots of games I like. I'm like, I'm not 100%ing that because like
that doesn't deserve my attention.
I'm not a sadist.
Yeah.
I'm not. Or I guess a masochist is maybe a better term.
You want to punish yourself.
No, I'm just like, no. Like, but you know, there's lots of games that I love that I 100%, and other games I love that I'm like, I'll never 100% because Super Mario Sunshine is a game that like, I don't want 100%, not because I was like, you know, I've had my time with it, but it's just like, it's just not fun enough for me to want to do it. And I've 100%ed, you know, I got 240 stars in Super Mario Galaxy. I did Mario and Luigi 120. I've 100%ed Super Mario 64 a dozen times in my life.
Damn, your gamer resume is stacked.
Look at my platinum trophies. I have all the Dark Souls platinums.
I only started platinum things when I started dating you, to be honest.
Yeah, and there's tons of fun to be had in 100%
it gives you that
games.
good brain juice.
Absolutely.
It really do, though. Like, when you hear that fucking trophy pop, or, like, you can say to somebody, they're like, have you played this game? You're like, not only have I played it, I've done every single thing you could ever do ever in that whole game, so therefore I know it really good.
Sure.
That feels good.
And to make it more in line with, like, a Nintendo, like, Nintendo doesn't have trophies.
Yeah.
But, like, Breath of the Wild, right? You did everything there was to do in that game, right?
Except for all the Korok seeds.
But you did all the shrines.
I did every side quest, I did every shrine.
And you got, like, some tangible rewards, whether it's a sword or, like, but who cares?
I did it because I wanted more.
Loved the game.
But that kind of goes more into my thing, like, I wanted to 100% Breath of the Wild, minus Korok seeds, because Breath of the Wild feels like I get more for doing more. Like, I like Breath of the Wild more the more I do of it. Whereas, you and I both know...
So what you're saying is that you don't want 100% Super Mario Sunshine because you get less from doing it.
Yeah.
Which is my point. That's why the game's not that good.
I'm kind of agreeing then, but I'm saying just don't do
win.
the...
Mike wins.
I just don't do those things.
Put it above my head. Put a banner
I
above
will
my
not.
head. Mike wins.
Haley is arguing herself efficiently.
Okay.
Because... like, just, you don't need to do... like, what you're saying. I don't want to do those things because I don't need to.
Mm-hmm. Are you frozen?
No, that's all that's it. Just do the 7 in each and maybe the 8th if you like the festivals, which most of them are not that good, so maybe don't do them. And then it's like, that's the, like, I keep circling back to this. It's just a vibe. This game's trying to be a vibe, and it padded itself out, and it shouldn't have done that. I agree. It shouldn't have had 100 coins you have to get per level. It shouldn't have had the blue coin thing.
I want to pay $60 for a vibe. Put that on.
You
put
did.
Put that on the back of the box.
I paid $60 for a vibe.
No, I paid $60 by Super Mario Galaxy in HD, which was totally worth it.
You're gonna pay, and you're gonna buy Skyward Sword again, and that game is absolutely not a vibe.
No,
yeah, you are.
100%. No, I'm not.
Most people, you know what?
If they release Majora's Mask on Switch, I'll buy that again for $130.
I've already bought that game on 3DS, and you won't play it.
I've already played on 3DS.
Never mind, you did do that. Never mind.
I love that game. You know it's your game. We're not here talking.
I'm worked up because I don't know what else to say to you besides obviously don't do the coin shit because the coin shit sucks. And
great.
You know what?
That was literally my point from the beginning. So cool.
But
thanks.
you can't knock the rest of it because there's coin shit at the end.
I'm not knocking the rest of it.
You are. You said it. I'm not paying $60 for a vibe, but the vibe's the best part and the worth it part.
Yeah, but like there's just other ways to get that vibe, like going outside.
Oh my god, now you're gonna tell me to go touch grass? Sorry, what do you mean? Everything is... when you play a game you like and it feels good, doesn't that make it worth it?
Sure, 100%. Again, Super Mario Sunshine, good game. Everyone before everyone's in the comments yelling at me. It's a good game. It's just a game with these flaws that I feel really... are large
it absolutely has flaws.
Then what are we talking about?
But you can't deny that this game is I didn't even say it yet. So
it's a vibe?
No. This game absolutely nails on the head, making you feel something about a like, I always think people who are good, like creators who are good and making me consume their art and feel like I'm doing something else while I'm in there. shut up, while you're in there are amazing. Like, when I play Sunshine, I feel like I'm on vacation. And I don't really know how they did that, but they did it, and that's why I like it.
What's the vibe of Dark Souls?
Dark Souls feels like I'm trudging through Dante's Inferno,
Yeah.
and I hate myself, and I'm just trying to get through it so I can tell people I did it.
That's my kind of vibe.
That's not, I mean, like, that's fair. You know what? I was about to say that's not a vibe, but that's your vibe, and that's fine. But you can't deny that Sunshine's not a vibe.
No, I'm not denying that.
It's tropical Skittles, and I think the more I think about this metaphor, the more
Good
it makes...
once in a while, but you don't want a bunch of it.
No, listen, the more this metaphor makes sense, because think about how you eat Skittles, right? You don't just pull one out and go, ooh, the banana. Ooh, yucky. You kind of, you take the Skittle bag,
you take a mouthful of Skittles,
and you pour them in your hand, and you dummy them in your mouth, and maybe sometimes you kind of get the banana in your right cheek, and then you get the strawberry in your left cheek, and then you chew and you get the lime in the bottom, you're like, ugh, and then you get the really good other one in the top. And I think that's why this game is so good, because it's a handful of tropical Skittles, and there's more good flavors of tropical Skittles than bad.
I agree.
So it's a mouthfeel vibe, and it's good because of that, even though there's
Super
lots
Mario
of shit
Sunshine,
that's bad.
It's pretty good except for the parts where it's shit.
Yeah.
Great review, I agree.
I could literally talk a bunch...
That's literally what I said at the beginning of this episode.
Well, I don't know how else to describe it, because...
You don't have to, that's great. I think you nailed it.
Yeah? Maybe. I think I maybe did nail it just then, because...
You sure did.
It's a mouthful of tropical Skittles.
Great.
That should have been on the box.
A mouthful of tropical Skittles.
There probably was there's some trademark issues
Shigeru Miyamoto's like, she gets it.
I get a letter from, what's his name? This was his first time producing.
Is it not Shigeru Miyamoto?
No, Shigeru Miyamoto was a producer on this game, but it was he didn't direct this game.
No.
It was Yoshida. Sorry. Anyways, I'll skip that.
I believe whatever you would have said.
Yeah. I don't want to say his name wrong.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So
that was really... I feel better. I feel good after that.
What else do you have to talk about? Like, so I said I feel like I've talked about Mario Sunshine. Do you have anything else to talk to
I want to talk to you about the final boss fight.
The Bowser boss fight?
Yeah.
Sure.
Before I even tell you what I think, what do you think about that final boss fight?
It's fine. Like... I mean, it's Mario fighting Bowser. Ooh, crazy.
Yeah.
I will say that the lead up to Bowser in this one kind of feels out of nowhere.
Well, this is the first game that had Bowser Jr.
That is not true. I'm going to flex my nerd hat here.
How much you want to bet? I bet you $25,000 this is the first game that has Bowser Jr. in it. I bet you $1,029,000.
Do you consider Baby Bowser and Bowser Jr. as separate characters?
Yes. Bowser Jr., like, who appears in Super Smash, and who is, like, a pinnacle character after this.
Yeah.
This is Bowser Jr.'s first game.
Yes, okay. I'll concede that.
Oh, you definitely, like, realized I was right.
I call Baby Bowser and Bowser Jr. the same character, but I guess they're not.
No, Bowser Jr. is his own character.
Anyway, so Bowser Jr. shows up, and this is going sort of to the plot of the game. We find out Shadow Mario, in a major twist, is Bowser Jr., sorry,
Bowser
not
Jr.
Baby Bowser. Bowser Jr., everyone's like, oh, crazy. And he's like, and he calls Princess Peach Mama.
Can I say one thing about this?
No. Go ahead, I'm just kidding.
I've never been more angry at a character than in this scene. I hate Peach in this game.
I was about to this is what I was literally
I hate her. She's so fucking, like, whoever wrote Peach in this game thinks that women are so stupid. Because literally he goes, that's my mama. And she goes, I'm your mama. And she literally says it like that. You don't remember pushing a fucking turtle baby out of you?
Well, I mean, I think the implication is that she's definitely had relations with Bowser in the many times.
But that works for if the fucking sexes are swapped. But she would have had to hold a turtle baby in her stomach for 9 months and push him out.
We don't know how Koopas reproduce.
Oh yeah, Bowser had the baby.
We don't know. Male
turtles have babies.
I don't know.
Oh my god. And that this is just a side way, but that's my least favorite Nintendo scene in any game because I want to scream at the fucking screen. How do you not know?
Well, that was literally my point I was going to make before you interrupted me.
I'm glad I made it because I'm angry about it. That makes me angry.
So yeah.
Who wrote that?
Anyway, this is all to say that Bowser shows up at the end,
Yeah.
kind of out of nowhere. I mean, we assume he's going to show up because Bowser Jr. is there, but he just kind of shows up, and he has maybe the worst voice ever for... I can see why Nintendo doesn't do voice acting very much, because it's terrible in
He's
this game.
like from New Jersey or something.
Yeah, he talks like a Bronx guy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the fight itself is fine. It's got, it plays into the flood mechanics well enough, I guess, and it's...
No, I have something to say about that.
I mean, by all means, I think it's fine. It's certainly not my favorite Bowser boss fight. That still goes to Galaxy 1, but, by all means, go
I'm
off.
confused to why they focus so hard on the rocket nozzle in this boss fight. Because, like, I don't really care for, like, the nozzles that you get. So there's the rocket nozzle, and there's the other one where you spray behind you and it makes you run really fast on water.
Isn't that the rocket nozzle?
No, rocket nozzle's vertical, straight up.
Oh, right.
So it's like, why'd you make that, like, the star of this boss fight?
Because it's a rushed game with a lot of issues.
Yes, but, like, also, like, come on. Like, it could have been a lot better. Like,
100%.
The whole time you're learning how to use FLUDD in all these unique ways. Like, there's the way you can burst the water into, like, a big spurt, or you can, like, jump and then spray and then run and jump into your water and go faster and all this interesting shit. And then at the end, they're like, rocket nozzle and then ground pound and do that 5 times and you win.
Well, that's just classic Nintendo lame boss
so
fights.
Boring.
Hit him 3 times, baby.
It's just so boring. And
it's
like
Zelda 1, 2, 3.
It's like, why the rocket nozzle? Like, that's used the least anywhere else in the whole game.
You think there could have been more opportunities for, like, to use, like, the hover nozzle, which is more integral to the game?
Well, a lot of the enemies in this game...
Maybe you put, like, the rocket on it and shoot it at them. You do that a couple times in the game. I agree. I think I'm just spitballing ways it could have been more exciting, for sure.
A lot of the enemies in this game spray goop and you clean it up. Yeah. And that's kind of like cohesiveness with the whole point you're playing is like you're trying to clean up the island, right? Like, oh, this enemy is making a mess, I better clean it, and that helps you kill him. That's kind of fun. Like, that connects everything. But it's like this, like, he's just in a tub with his kid and then Peach is on like a duck and you're just kind of like, this feels like you're walking into something inappropriate and you're like, oh, what's up?
It's very erotic.
Kinda. And then you just have to go hit 5 of those things, and this boss fight's so glitchy too. I didn't have any glitches with it, but yeah, you were saying it's bad. You played it like yesterday. I played it literally yesterday.
Yeah.
So you jump, there's 5 spires on this big cauldron tub that he's in, and when you hit all 5, it tips it, and then it destroys him or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you'll rock it up, and then you have to have enough momentum to break one of the spires on the side. And sometimes it just, you break it, and then you glitch through and you fall. Guess how many times that happened to me?
7.
Like 4. But but that's 4 lives. So I fully died and had to come back and do Corona Mountain again.
Oh, do you have to do all the Corona Mountain again? I never died, so that's hilarious.
And it wasn't even my fault that I died, because I literally ground pounded, it broke it, and then you have hilarious. 5 seconds to jump across, like, as it's falling to get back on the top.
Right.
And as, like, you ground pound, and then for, like, 1 second it kind of glitches and puts me in between a piece of rock.
Yeah.
And then the game doesn't know what to do with you then, because this game's really bad at, like flushing you through assets, and it just puts you underneath, and then I just fell.
Sure.
And I ground pounded just as normally as any other time. And, yeah, that really fucking made me hate that. I forgot about that boss fight, and I was kind of like, oh, this one's kind of fun, like, whatever, it's pretty easy. But the fact that it glitched, and this is the All-Stars remake, like, they should, like kind of no excuse.
You think they should have, like, done more to, like, fix issues with the game in this remaster?
That's kind of like the whole point.
Well, I mean, that's just Nintendo being like, here's your ROMs, deal with it, sucker, give me money.
True.
But hey, we love Nintendo on this podcast.
You do be right with that.
We do.
I just think it was a bad fight.
I agree. It's not a very good fight. I don't think it's bad, but it's like it's just boring and lame.
Maybe if it wasn't so glitchy, I would forgive it. But this game,
that's a user will vary experience. I think because it wasn't glitchy for me. Works on my system, as the kids say.
This game's glitchy though. Like, did you not encounter a lot of other instances where you would move through assets and fall for no reason? That happened to me quite a lot.
Particularly, that nothing jumps out to mind.
Happens to me.
Sounds like you're just bad, bro.
Sounds like I'm glitchy.
Glitchy.
But okay, the other thing I want to talk about is music.
Oh yeah.
I feel like we haven't talked about the fucking music in this game.
They're all bops.
Absolutely all of them. Every single one's bop.
No, it's a great soundtrack. Might be one of my favorite Mario soundtracks ever.
I think it's one of my... I've regularly just put on the Super Mario Sunshine soundtrack in my apartment. Like,
sure.
In the background.
I completely understand why. It's, great, very uplifting, very level-fitting music for every level.
It's atmospheric.
Atmospheric's a great word for it, definitely.
Do you think you know every single song?
Maybe one or two.
Do you want to play a game?
Sure.
Do you want to play a game where you have to guess the songs for every world?
Sure. Absolutely.
I have it ready to go right here.
Oh, wow. What do I do?
So, this...
Can I show the camera?
No, you don't have to show the camera. So, I have their 8 worlds.
Certainly is.
Do you want to read them out?
Delfino Plaza, Bianco Hills, Rico Harbor, Gelato Beach, Pina Park, Serena Beach, Noki Bay, and Pianta Village.
I didn't include Corona Mountain because...
Nor should you. It sucks.
It sucks, and also the music's obviously from Corona Mountain because it sounds so different from everything else.
And they also have to say Corona Mountain a bunch in the chorus.
Do they?
No, it's a joke.
I was going to say, I just played that level. What are you talking about? So I have, in random order, the songs from each of these worlds ready to go on a little audio file right here.
Okay.
And you are going to have to guess the corresponding one for each one.
Starting now?
It's already starting, yeah. But... You ready to go?
Yeah.
This is the first one.
Okay. Do I just draw a line?
Well, yeah, if you want to write it in. That's the first one.
That's the first one.
So what do you think it is?
Is it Gelato Beach?
I'm not going to tell you to the end.
Oh, okay. I thought you were posing the question for me to answer.
No.
Okay, I think it's Gelato Beach.
Okay, here's the second one. You ready?
Yeah. Oh, I know that one for sure. Got it. Nailed it. Easy. Oh, yeah. Oh! Yeah. I got it. Yeah.
I was going to say, I'm going to wait till it plays that little bit.
It's a bop, though.
What did you say that one was?
That's Pianta Village, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. Oh. Okay, I think I can make a guess.
Does that help? A little pan flute?
Not really, but I think the first part gave it to me, so I think...
Oh.
I know that one.
So
Easy.
wait, what did you say the last one was?
I said that was Serena Beach.
Okay, and then...
Oh yeah, that's a Super Smash Brothers Brawl classic, which is Delfino Plaza, baby.
That's gonna vibe to this, sorry. One of the most iconic game songs of all time.
Absolutely. Even before like playing Super Smash Brothers Brawl on my Wii, that was like a song that really stuck out to me for sure. That's Delfino Plaza, 100%.
Okay, here's the next one. Ready?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that little bing, it like tickles my brain.
Is that the same? It's like the same as
Delfino,
but it's like a remix.
That's what I think. Like 7 out of like 9 of these are just the same song, but like with a different twang.
Well, I think that's Rico Harbor because of all the horns and stuff.
You said Rico Harbor?
I think it's Rico Harbor.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe.
Here's the next one.
Sure. Oh yeah, I know that one. Only because I don't like this level very much, and the music sticks out my mind as pissing me off. So yeah.
Relaxing though.
Yeah.
Feels like you're in a hammock. Isn't it?
I think so. I think I know what it is. I think that's
What'd you say?
I think it's Noki Bay.
Okay. Here's the next one. I mean,
Ooh.
Oh, you're considering this one. You don't immediately know it?
Well, I feel like I should, but I also feel like it could be because there's only 2 left.
What's left?
Well, only Bianco Hills and Pina Park are left, and I feel this could be uplifting like a Pina Park could be, but also this might be Bianco. You know what? I'm gonna go Bianco Hills.
Okay, well here's the last one.
Oh yeah, no, this is Pina Park. Yeah, 100%.
Sounds like you're in a good spot.
Yeah.
You ended with like, yes, that's correct.
Yeah, I feel once I heard it, I was very sure. Definitely.
Okay, you ready to hear what the answers were?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Was I close?
Number 1.
Uh-huh.
Don't look at the answers while I read them.
Okay.
Gelato Beach.
Nice.
Yeah, you got it?
Yep.
Number 2, Pianta Village.
Yo, let's go.
Number 3, Noki Bay.
Ah, crap, I've messed up. Okay.
What'd you put?
I put a Sierra Beach for that one, which makes me think I got
Okay.
Noki Bay and Sierra Beach mixed up.
4, Delfino Plaza.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
5, Rico Harbor.
Yep.
6, Serena Beach.
So yeah, I mixed up Noki Bay and Serena Beach.
7, Bianco Hills.
And 8 Pina Park.
8, Pina Park.
6 out of 8, or 5 out of 7 ain't bad. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
6 out of 8.
6 out of 8? Oh, there's 8, yeah. I mixed up Sierra Beach and Noki Bay. Because they're, inlets.
They're kind of same. Well, that's funny because aren't those the only 2 that aren't just like well,
That's I think, and
like
I didn't realize you played it all in a row there. How it's pretty much the same melody being remixed over and over again to reflect the different parts of the album, which is actually really cool.
Which is cool
because it didn't strike me when I was playing it because it feels so natural as you listen.
Because and I think that kind of reflects the game itself, right? Which is like the same vibe area but slightly different, but it doesn't feel old.
The more industrial sounds of Rico Harbor as opposed to the more naturalistic sounds of Bianco Hills. It's very cool. That's very I assume Koji Kondo did the music for this game.
I don't know who it was, but I know they did every single song.
I assume it was Koji Kondo. So props to you, Koji Kondo, for being the best.
That's so cool because it literally matches the vibe of the game too. Mm-hmm. It's the same but different, and your brain knows it's the same, but it also can't pick up that it's different.
That's something I won't contest at all. Is the music in this game is incredible.
Absolutely fire.
It's great.
Oh my gosh. Is there any final points you want to talk about before we go move to listener comments?
I mean, again, just Super Mario Sunshine is, we'll probably say this again at the very end, but it's a very, very good game with flaws that really made me parts of me that like didn't make me not enjoy it, made me go, I didn't really like that very much. And again, I highly doubt if ever I'll replay this game, which to me is one of the biggest criticisms I can give a game.
Yeah.
That's not to say I replay every game I ever played, but there's, I remember there's some games like, someday I'll replay this again and probably really like it, and I'll think about it fondly.
Yeah.
Super Mario Sunshine sort of left my head, and I won't think about it very much apart from, like, maybe the great music, and, the Sandbird was kind of annoying.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a very good game with a lot of flaws. It's my least favorite, mainstream Mario game, maybe, with the exception of, like, Super Mario Brothers 2, but...
God.
Yeah, it's a game that I like, but it's forgettable and kind of boring.
It's crazy you find it forgettable. I find it so memorable in so many ways. It's such...
I'll remember the aesthetic and the music, again, like the atmosphere, like you said, the vibe it does provide to you as a player. And I'll think about it, I'm like, yeah, I remember running around Delfino Plaza, but like, will I remember the intricacies of every level? Like I know, Bob-omb Battlefield or Womp's Fortress from top to bottom? No. Yeah. Certainly not.
What I like about Sunshine is that, you know how when you're playing a game and you're like, oh, that was a good level. Like, whatever that felt like when I played that level, that was a good one out of the bunch.
Sure.
I'm trying to think of an example, but like when you play Uncharted and it's like one of the really good set pieces areas, you're like, that was a good one. Like, that felt better than the rest. Like, I feel like a lot of these levels is like, that feels like it would have been the best level if it was the only beach one amongst a bunch of others, mm-hmm. but they're all collected up together in a row. Like even like some of the ones I really hate, like maybe it would be fun to like quickly rank the worlds, but like I really don't like Noki Bay that much. No, I really don't like Pianta Village that much.
No, I hate that level.
Like
I feel like our lists be pretty similar. Maybe I think I like Sierra Beach more than you do,
but like even those levels which aren't that good, they would be like the really good beach level if it was the only beach level in a game that also had a bunch of other levels.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? Definitely. And then like the really good ones like Bianca Hills, mm-hmm. and like That's another one I really like.
You like Rico Harbor? I like Rico Harbor.
I like Rico Harbor. Like, those are, like, just even better. Like, they're uplifted even above, like, the
Sure.
best level of another type of game.
Yep.
And I think that's why it's so good, because it takes what makes your gamer brain, like, think, that was a good time, and it just makes it the whole game. And, like,
Sure.
that's, like, a fun way to make games, is, like, what's the best level of the last game we just made, and make that the whole thing.
Right.
That's so cool. Like, I love that. And that's what they did. And it's, like, fun that they did that so soon after their very first 3D game. Like, instead of just making, like, Mario 64 2, where it was, like, the same thing, but more levels that are all different and stuff. They were like, nope, this whole one's a beach theme.
No, it has a very unique identity. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
There's a whole new mechanic with FLUDD. You move differently. And as much as 64 was like a horizontal game, this is like a vertical game. Like, it's more about going up than, like, stretching
that's
forward.
a very good way to put it, for
yeah.
sure.
And, like, not to say there's not horizontal. Like, the
No,
secret
no.
levels are mostly horizontal.
But, like,
but
definitely a lot of vertical
yeah.
stuff in play, for
and
sure.
like, water's always so encumbering. It's like, when you get in the water, you're immediately slow and whatever, but then the nozzle lets you move past that and get over it. And if anything, getting in the water is now a benefit, because it fills up your stores to then keep going and be fast or whatever. And that's interesting. And I think that flips a lot of, like, gaming tropes on its head to, like, oh, here's the water level, time to move, like, an inch a minute and whatever. It's like, no, now I'm in the water level and I'm zip-zopping everywhere because I'm using water in a good way. And I think they did that really well. And I think it's tropical Skittles.
Tropical Skittles.
That's all.
Dark Souls is regular Skittles.
Dark Souls is mud.
No, we don't need to talk about Dark Souls.
We don't need to talk about Dark Souls. Well, Dark Souls isn't mud. Dark Souls is, what's like a candy you only want sometimes?
Warhead?
Yeah! Dark Souls are warheads.
Yeah.
Really sour. And, like, you can have one and then you don't want another one for a
Sure.
long time. Let's go to some listener comments.
Absolutely, would love to.
Aren't I done yet? There's more?
You want to read the first one?
So yeah, this is a listener question from friend of the show, Crater. Shout out to Crater on Discord.
Shout out.
He said there's something so satisfying about doing things like power washing a dirty wall, cleaning a dirty toilet bowl with a strong urine stream.
I've never felt that.
Or, I have. Or defrosting a freezer with a hose. And the FLUDD mechanics in Super Mario Sunshine scratch that same itch for me.
Oh, also, Al Delfino is a fucking jam.
This is true.
What she said. That's so true.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think he's sort of speaking to, you know, I remember even as a kid seeing commercials for Super Mario Sunshine with the water pack, and I was like, that seems kind of weird. And this was sort of like, you know, Luigi now has a vacuum and Luigi's Mansion, now Mario has a water pack. And I thought that was kind of lame, but now having played it as an adult, it's like, oh no, it's very cool, and it is very satisfying to watch gunk go away, and how FLUDD is used in the missions as a weapon, as an assist. FLUDD's a great mechanic when FLUDD works, but also FLUDD, again, like I said at the top of the episode, is also very frustrating and could have been explored a lot more. I think, you know, sometimes I sort of rag on games for not being what I want them to be instead of what they are. Yeah. But I really feel like FLUDD could have been explored, and maybe someday we'll get a Super Mario Sunshine 2.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
Which would be wild.
If they take Odyssey's, like, improvements and make it a Sunshine
I think
thing.
that would be great. And there's a Super Mario Sunshine level in Super Mario Galaxy 2, which is a lot of fun. That's very inspired by it. That's fun. What are they called? What are the people called in Super Mario Sunshine?
Are they called Delfinos?
Delfinos? Maybe. The people.
Yeah.
The main people. They show up and it's fun.
The locals.
But yeah, absolutely. FLUDD's great, and Al Delfino and the whole soundtrack, as we just explored in that little section, is a fucking jam. 100%.
Absolutely. This one comes from Like on Discord. I may be on the side of not a fan, to be honest. I think nostalgia plays heavily into that game for a lot of people. I never played it back in the day, and the first time was the recent remaster, and I was like, not a fan of the controls. Could not make it farther than the Piranha Plant boss fight.
That's very early in the game, so it didn't make very far at all.
And you know what? That's super fair, because I really think nostalgia is the, like, pushing force to why people love this game a lot. And that's why I think it's fun that I have nostalgia goggles and you don't. Because that kind of, like, is a nice balance between arguing pro and against certain aspects of the game. Sure. I think I'm pretty good at pointing out when things suck. Like, I remember liking them as a kid, but now when I'm older, I'm like, oh no, why'd they do that? Like, that's stupid. But I don't know, like, take my sunnies off. Like, nostalgia is a big reason why I love this game so much. Absolutely. Sure. Like, I remember being a happy kid when I played this in 2004 or whatever it was. And that's a bummer, because then immediately you feel like anything you have to say about it is kind of a little bit discrediting, and I hate nostalgia goggles. Like,
I think good games go above nostalgia, though.
I think that's true, and I'm glad I replayed it, because this was my first time replaying it since, like...
You were a kid?
You want to open a beer over there? Is that what
No, just scratching my arm.
Oh, I thought you were trying to open a beer. Okay. This is my first time replaying it since, I want to say, like, 2013 or something. It's been a long time. And I remember thinking about, like, wow, I wonder if I'm going to like this. I wonder if it's going to be good. Because I just remember how I felt when I played it when I was younger and, like, happier and wasn't an adult. This game is very much like what that is, and I'd be curious to watch like younger kids play it now, because I bet they would still because it looked they're really good in that era of making games that look timeless, because Sunshine looks timeless. Like, they bumped up the resolution for the All-Star. The way you're killing me the way you're sitting right. You're just like, uh-huh.
No, please continue.
Yeah, they bumped. I'm watching in the camera, it made me smile. They bumped up the resolution and they make it look prettier, but it largely looks the same as it did in 2002. It's just like crisper and not in like, it's in 16:9 format now, right? Instead of the old format 4:3 or whatever I think it is. And it's, I bet kids would still love it, because it really is a kid's game. As hard as it can be at sometimes, it's for children.
All video games are for children.
This Dark Souls for children?
It's a video game, of course, for children. That's a hill I'll die on.
Every single video game ever made is for a child.
Sure.
And I think for another...
It's not true, by the way.
Another thing with this is, like, do you know how you kind of love flaws for something sometimes?
Sure. Absolutely.
Like, recently the Legendary Edition for Mass Effect came out. Mm-hmm. And I've heard a lot of people talking about how they love the old jank of BioWare.
Sure.
They're like, that feels old, and it feels like a time that I can think of fondly when I think about how those games were made and how they, like, ran. Mm-hmm. And it's weird how, like, it's a bad thing.
Yep.
But it feels good in hindsight. And I think that's kind of what Sunshine does.
Yep. Yeah, that's fair.
A lot of bad things, but they feel good with enough years between you and them. You want to read that one?
Yeah, absolutely. I was just taking in that thought.
Thank you.
I don't know if I agree with it.
Oh.
But we'll move on.
Okay.
This is from at TV Re,
I think.
Re on Twitter, who said, "For me, Odyssey and Galaxy 2 are superior to Sunshine." I would agree with that. But Sunshine ranks above Super Mario 64. I do not agree with that. Sunshine is more challenging, more fluid Mario control, and has a better aesthetic and soundtrack overall. I agree with pretty much everything you're saying, because I do agree the aesthetic and the soundtrack is probably better overall than Super Mario 64, but I think Super Mario 64 as a game, even ignoring its enormous legacy on 3D platformers and video games in general, is still a game I would much rather revisit before I ever revisit this one.
Yeah.
That's just me. If you love this game, go off.
I mean, I haven't played Galaxy 2, which is fucked, because I should, because I know I'd love it. But Odyssey does rank higher than Sunshine for me, too, sure. So I agree with that. Mm-hmm. And it's really just because it just feels better to play. Like, it feels like a treat to play Odyssey. It feels fun. Everything feels like it's satisfying, whereas only certain parts of Sunshine feel satisfying sometimes, but it still feels good to be in the world. Whereas Odyssey, it always feels good to be the world and everything's satisfying to do.
Right.
So I get that. Next up, we have Calamity. How do you say that word? I know. Calamity. I should know it because of Breath of the Wild. Calamity Ganon. Sorry, Callie. Calamity Callie said, "Loved it as a kid, but the floodless levels ruin it for me as an adult," which is so fucking fair.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. I know I kind of ragged on the special floodless levels now, but it's very clear they're a super early indication of the design they're going for in Super Mario Galaxy. in so many ways. Like, they're very early
That's a good
Galaxy
point.
demo levels. But again, I'll speak to what I said earlier as well, is that, like, without Flood, like, yes, they're fine platforming challenges, but they feel so detached from everything else.
Do you think they should have had long jump for those bits?
Well, no, because then you can't just add in the long jump for random sections in every level. That would be really lame and weird.
I'll rephrase. Do you think Super Mario Sunshine should have had a long jump?
Yes, only because every other Mario game has it, and I think it would open up more avenues for fun movement.
But with
in the
Flood,
game.
wouldn't that just be too much?
I don't know, we haven't seen it, but I envision a world where I long jump into a rocket nozzle boost to put me on an angle and up into the air and allow me more opportunities to exploit the movement in fun ways. But maybe it would have been too much. I don't know. It's hard. And maybe the very smart designers at Nintendo tried out a long jump and said it doesn't work. So maybe they know more than I do, but I think a long jump would have. But it's not the lack of long jump that's a deal killer for me. It's more just the lack of Flood in the special levels feels so detached and kind of out of place. When if you're going to build your entire game around a central mechanic such as Flood, why not try to have the bonus levels also be harder platforming challenges, but really make you use your mastery of Flood to its limit, would be my argument for them.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, it's funny because, like, I was thinking about the long jump thing, and I was going through a bunch of they're called secret levels, the ones where you are floodless. I think they're all just called secret levels.
Yeah, like the secret of X, Y, and Z.
And I was thinking about how the long jump would affect me if it was available in all of them. And in almost every single one of them, it would have just been, like, too easy.
Sure.
Because there's a bunch where you have to time your jump to jump on an enemy to then go to the next block. Or you're on a sandcastle, and if you could long jump, you could just, like, go to a new area of the sandcastle and start fresh. And all this kind of stuff. And it would make it way too easy, but at the same time, those do feel so unfair a lot of the time. Especially with the slope thing, how slopes just, like, go and just, like, zip you down.
Yeah, the physics feel weird.
And everything feels precarious and bad and scary. Like, I can't count how many times I was literally 2 pixels away from the sun sprite, but I, like, stood still and calmed myself down and then jumped for it because I don't trust the game to work. Especially in those levels where I don't have Flood, because Flood is your fallback.
Sure.
And you're just like, I hope I hit it, and you just jump, and they'll, like, yeah, I completely agree with that, Callie. That's a really good point. Yeah. And I think that's why a lot of people don't like it when they replay it when they're older, too.
Sure.
They like the fun ones, like fighting the Wriggler, or like PD Piranha, and those all feel fun, but then when you get to the secret levels, you're like, oh, wait, ugh. Yeah. This doesn't feel so good.
No. Our next comment, not a question but a comment, is from Eddie at Piff Games, who says, "I love Flood and Super Mario Sunshine, and it is a hill I will not die on, but will take many lives in their defense." It's fair enough. I appreciate the gusto.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of like me too. Like, I love this game, and I will defend it even though I know it's bad in a lot of aspects.
And that's all I ask is for you
to admit it's bad.
No, it's because it's not bad. It's a very good game.
Our next comment comes from Michael Aaron on Twitter, Aaron MJ. He says, "Hands down, one of the best Super Mario games ever made. The world just feels so full."
Like with TTYD. Do you know what that stands for?
No, what's that?
It stands for the 1,000-Year Door, baby.
Oh, I haven't played that.
Me either, but I really shook because I love Paper Mario. I agree the world feels very full. Delfino Plaza is probably the best hub in a 3D Mario game ever made. It's
one of the best hub worlds ever.
It just feels very alive, like, especially compared to, like, the emptiness of Peach's Castle, and the Comet Observatory and Galaxies. Also very cool, but not a lot going on. Yeah. Delfino Plaza feels like a world with agency. I compare it a lot to Clock Town from Majora's Mask, and that there's a lot of stuff going on. People have routines, they're around. There's tons, and again, I loved exploring. I loved finding shines. I wish they mattered more when I did find them, but it's great. It's a great hub.
It's kind of like Windfall Island, or like it's like a rare occurrence where they they nailed it. Like
any of those great hubs in any Nintendo game, and specifically,
you can't really. You have to be very aware to like build a hub world that feels a certain way, and I don't think I could do it. I don't know how they do it, but it's very specific, and they do it really well here.
Yes. 100%.
I think.
Well, those are all. Thank you for all your listener questions.
Yeah, thank you.
That's great. We appreciate them.
Any final words, Michael, before we end?
I mean, I just have to reiterate again that I think Super Mario Sunshine is a very good game. It's a very good platformer. As a fan of 3D collectathon platformers in the vein that Super Mario 64 started, it wouldn't rank in my top 10, I don't think. But it's still a very good game. It's absolutely worth playing. There's probably better ways to play it that are not the Super Mario 3D All-Stars collection, and all you smart people out there know what I mean by that. But it's a great game. You should definitely play it and make an opinion for yourself. For me, it didn't quite hit the notes I would have liked it to. Had a good time with it. Kind of forgettable. I doubt I'll ever replay it again. But if you like it and you grew up with it, I respect it. But
yeah, for
me, it's a Mario game that's pretty low in my ranking. If I had to do like one of those tier lists of, Super Mario games, I'd probably put it at like a C tier.
Wow, really?
Yep.
It's an A tier for me.
It's an A tier.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Like Odyssey's S, and this is A.
Odyssey's also C tier. Yeah, that's a whole other episode.
What?
We'll make someday.
You think Odyssey's C tier?
And B tier.
Oh my god. I want to break up with you.
That's fair.
Oh man,
that's what I got to say about Super Mario Sunshine. Haley, you thoughts?
I love it, and it's really good. And I know I have nostalgia goggles. I completely acknowledge that. Yep. And I know a lot of it's fucked up. Yoshi handles bad. A lot of the Sun sprites aren't that fun to get. Like, it's not fun. It sucks to be booted out of the levels. I could literally just list a bunch of shit.
All the stuff we've already talked about.
All this, the slope physics are really bad. The final boss fight's glitchy. Fucking, the way Yoshi jumps sucks. But the worlds are awesome. They feel great to be in. The music's amazing. It makes you feel better about yourself and your life. And it's fun to play when it's fun to play. And I think they just nail feeling like you're somewhere new.
Sure. And
somewhere that's nice to be in. I think that's what they nail. And I think that's why I like it.
Absolutely.
So it's an A tier.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Do you want to tell them what I'm playing next, or should we wait?
We'll announce it on Twitter when we get there.
You think we should?
I got a couple options. I'm not quite sure what I'm settled on yet, but we have a couple options up in the air.
He was telling me one such option, and I was not pleased with it, so we'll see.
We'll see how we feel. But yeah.
Well, who are you on Twitter, sir?
I'm at Mike P. Tucker on Twitter. I tweet mostly about video games and hockey, so follow me on there. For sure.
Who's your team, buddy?
Toronto Maple Leafs, baby.
Toronto Maple Leafs.
The most summery team in the world.
Is that a thing?
No.
I am Haleyfax on Twitter, and usually all this stuff goes up on Game Query's channels, which unfortunately, since the last time we recorded, Game Query is taking a possibly permanent hiatus. So Game Query, for those who don't know, is a podcast channel I do with my friends Blake and AJ. Unfortunately, but for a happy reason that we don't really need to get into, we can't record Game Query right now. So what's fun about this episode is this one is going to be going up on our own personal Game and Makeup channel. So we normally post on the Game Query Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. We're going to be putting this up on Game and Makeup's very first. That's a lot of socials I have to think about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. We're going to be putting the first 2 episodes up as well on those new channels.
You can find all our previous episodes there, so you can binge them.
Binge them up. And our Twitter is at Game and Makeup. The old episodes will stay up on Game Query, so you don't have to worry about those getting deleted or anything if you have them. But if you want to keep following us from now on, the best way to do that is to follow the new social media channels and the new podcast channel. So if you have an iPhone, follow us on Apple Podcasts, and if you have an Android or just like Spotify, follow us on Spotify, and we'll be posting the episodes on there.
Great.
And that's it.
That's awesome. Well, thank you, Haley. That was a lot of fun.
Thank you. That was fun. I like this. I like this game. This is a fun game to chat about because it's contentious, and there's a lot to. It's not just like it's good or it's bad. There's good and bad of both.
Absolutely. And that's just life, isn't it?
And it's tropical Skittles.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see you all next time. Have a lovely summer.
Let's go back to Gelato Beach.
Sounds
just
good.
relax.
Oh, Godzilla's back. There he is.
Oh, no. I gotta
Hi,
edit
Godzilla.
him. And now, oh no, what's that? King Kong is fighting him as well?
And King Kong's shooting out gummy worms from his
No,
mouth.
I can't do all that. He'll
All
just be back there. He won't be shooting anything.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.